Good news, folks. If you have your own clothing line, your own mattress by Serta, and a hit reality TV show, then you may be qualified to run for president. Donald Trump has announced he may run for the 2012 election as a Republican candidate. Do you think he's qualified to do so? And does the president need to have political experience, or could he or she come from a business background? And are you thinking about running for an SGA position? Obviously, you're not, because 9 positions have no candidates for the upcoming SGA elections in April. Why is there so little interest in running? And what is Emerson's public perception of SGA? Find out on today's Speechless. Hello and welcome to Speechless. My name is Christine Ryan, and to my right and my left sit 4 fired up panelists ready to discuss some very controversial issues right here in studio. We have right here to my right the lovely James Harness. How are you doing today?
I'm well, how are you?
Oh, wonderful. Thanks for asking. We have Leslie Diana.
Hi.
Hello, love the shirt as
Thank
always.
you.
And Vincent Gonzalez. How are you?
Nice glasses.
Nice glasses. I got them to match yours. And Bianca Periluga.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, great. Well, we start today by asking our panelists some not so controversial questions in our 1-minute Speechless survey. So let's start the clock and begin. Okay, James, tracksuits or onesies?
A 2-piece.
Okay, you're lying. Leslie,
Yes.
booty pop
Oh.
or bend and snap?
Bend and snap, Elwoods, all the way.
Oh, who doesn't love the bend and snap? Right. Benson, Bob Saget or Jesus?
Jesus.
Okay. James, who did you pick for the final 4?
My mom, my dad, my brother, and myself.
I hope you know that's about basketball, but that's okay. Bianca, past, present, or future?
Future, that's what you work for.
Okay, well that's inspirational. Vincent, True Blood or Tiger Blood?
Tiger blood.
Yo. Okay, Charlie Sheen over there. Leslie, Oprah or Ellen?
Oh my gosh, both at the same time. That's, oh my gosh. I said it so wrong. I just mean I would love to meet them both because they're both awesome.
Suck up. Okay, Bianca, Katie Bryant or Zach Kusan?
That's not what it says on that paper.
No, okay, next. Leslie, skinny jeans or booty shorts?
Booty shorts. If you wear really high socks, it's like you're wearing pants anyway.
Okay, well time is up, meaning it's time to start today's first discussion. Well-known businessman, television host, and possessor of one of the world's most famous comb-overs, Donald Trump, says he may run for president in 2012. Trump is known for his business-savvy leadership and brutal honesty, but some critics says he is not qualified for the job. Here's what Trump had to say about his potential run for office on the Piers Morgan Show.
The country is doing very poorly. It just can't do much worse. We're not respected anywhere in the world. I am seriously thinking about it. I won't make a decision till June, but I will make a decision. And it may surprise people, frankly, but I will make a decision sometime prior to June. I love this country. I hate what's happened to this country. We're a laughingstock throughout the world. We're not respected. When you look at what's happening in various places that we've always supported and frankly that we got along with, they're the places that are collapsing. You don't see the other places collapsing. A lot of that is a lack of respect for our country, Piers. And you know how I feel. You know very much how I feel. We just don't have it anymore as a country. You look at what China's doing to us, how they're just ripping us left and right. They're taking our jobs. We're rebuilding China. Worse than China is OPEC. They wouldn't be there except for us. 12 men sit around the table. They set the price of fuel. They set the price of $3.50 for your car right now, a gallon. Guess what? That's going to be $5, $6, and $7 very soon because there's nobody here that calls them and says, fellas, you better not do it.
Okay, James, we'll start with you. What do you think about this?
Well, I think every great politician was once a really good businessman, so I give him my blessing, honestly. I think he's a great guy. Go for it.
Yeah, I kind of have to agree with James on that. I think that, although, okay, what I have to say is that I think Donald Trump should go for it, but maybe he should get some more political experience before he does so. He's talking an awful lot about foreign policy, and I think that his business policy would help him in that area, but he's not really saying what he would do to improve you know, as we saw in this clip, he's just kind of saying what's wrong with the country, which is old news. We know what's wrong with it.
Okay, I'm going over here.
I think the biggest problem with Donald Trump saying he's going to run for the GOP, possibly run to be a Republican candidate for president, is the fact that he donates money to the Democratic Party. So there's a huge conflict of interest for Donald Trump if he wants to run as the Republican candidate, but yet he donates his money that he's become so business savvy and has this incredible reputation for, but it's like he doesn't make sense. It's like he gives his money this way, but he wants his business to be treated as a separate entity as a Republican.
My question is, how many times has he filed for bankruptcy?
At least 11.
All right, so
Okay, but does the presidential candidate need to have political background?
I mean,
Yes, absolutely. I mean, yeah.
I mean,
so why
not
are you for Donald
necessarily.
Trump then?
Well, I mean, like I said before, I am for him just in, 10 years after he's become governor of something or other.
But he's not
Wait, time
talking
out.
about
You don't
running
want
for
him to
governor.
be president in 10 years. He's going to be old. With our luck, he'll die in office. I don't want someone who's going to die in office.
man.
Why do you think
Okay.
Obama got elected?
Because he's young and healthy. That's the only
Exactly,
reason
the
why.
only
he
reason.
puts
I mean, his
on
political
there.
experience, he
Just
didn't
for
have that
this,
much
just for
political
this.
experience,
I
let's
mean,
be
he's
honest.
definitely going to help
I
the
wouldn't go
Democratic
that far.
Party because I think this is just a marketing stunt.
Help the Democratic Party. He's running for the
Exactly. Why would you vote for someone like that?
No.
Why
well,
would you
that's-
vote for someone who gives his money to the Democrats, but yet he wants to run as a
Okay,
Republican?
but- Do you
That's
understand?
all in the interest of his business.
No,
He's
no,
a
no, 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 no.
businessman.
Polls
He's
have
not a
been-
politician.
Polls have been taken that say that the only person whose votes Donald Trump would take away by running are Sarah Palin's. So it would only be dividing up them too. So Mitt Romney and Mike Huckabee are still in the top two. So it really does nothing to do, anything.
So
to
do you
bring
think
him to
Trump
party.
has a chance against?
But
I
also
think
in
that's
No,
those
true.
same.
if it was him and Sarah Palin, yeah. Him and Mitt Romney,
Let
Huckabee.
me
I mean,
put
but
it
also-
this way.
Pinky would have a better deal against
But time
him.
out, he
Sarah
doesn't even
Palin?
have a
Oh,
chance.
please,
It doesn't
him.
matter. Let's say the final three were Donald Trump, Mike Huckabee, and Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney will automatically get kicked out just for the pure fact that he has this whole
But they're not going to be the final three. That's the whole thing.
But I'm saying then it won't ultimately come down to those three. It'll end up coming down to Huckabee and Trump because we know Palin's not going to make it on her own.
No, she's not at all.
Well,
What if Palin and Trump did something together? How would you feel?
Tag team.
I don't know. I kind of like that idea.
You like that
actually.
idea?
I kind of like that idea.
As soon as you put Palin into the equation with anything for me, it's over.
I mean,
it's
for a
done.
TV
Out.
show, I think.
I-
that would
yeah,
be great.
hello.
Okay,
But
yeah.
for
That
our
goes back to what
country
I'm saying,
and
though,
anti-nuclear
about
war,
about
no.
business, entertainment, and politics. They merge at a certain point, and everyone.
What do
knows
you think politics is turning towards? If Sarah Palin, she was ex-governor, she now has her own TV show,
No one
and
watches
Donald
it.
Which
Trump
Kate Goss
has her own.
gets
Do you
fed
think
on.
that's really right for these candidates to be in the public's eye like that?
No, I think it's extremely inappropriate, but it's the reality of things.
I
I mean,
mean-
that's how it goes.
So you would still vote for him?
I'm not saying that I would vote for him. I would consider it.
But I think there's a really big difference that's important to notice between Donald Trump and Sarah Palin, since we've been making this constant comparison throughout this discussion, is that Sarah Palin did this all after she became known for being a political leader, whatever you want to call her,
So, but do you
or in
think
the
she
political
used
light.
that?
But Donald Trump, of course she used that to get her own TV
But
show,
you don't
obviously.
think she was ever interested in politics?
No, I think she was interested in politics, and I think that since the whole politics route didn't work for her, and she's not governor of Alaska anymore, she needed some way to make money. And you know
Right.
what? The next best thing was getting her own reality show.
But
And Donald Trump did it
I
before
don't-
he ran
I don't exactly
for office.
agree with that. I don't think that that's why she had her own reality TV show. I mean, she knew she was going to be running for president at that point. I don't think she was saying, "Oh, I need a filler because I'm not going to be busy enough as is." She knew.
I
she
totally think
Well,
she
she also
did.
has her daughter on her hands.
Vincent,
Yeah.
who would you vote for? Donald Trump or Sarah Palin?
Neither of them.
Thank God. Okay, if you had to choose, I have a gun to your head. Who would you choose?
She's Sarah Palin with the gun to her head.
Between the two,
Yes,
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. Why is that? Do you think But at
lesser
least Sarah
of two
Palin has
evils.
some political experience.
You see,
Right,
I don't
but
think
she
that should
bothers
be-
me
that
to
should
an
definitely not be
extreme.
the approach we take to politics in this country.
But that's
The
how
lesser
it
of
is.
two
Running, if
evils,
that too
absolutely
is
not.
Okay, guys. Well, time is up. That got very heated. It's time for our first commercial break, but when we come back, we're talking Emerson politics. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Speechless. Now, in a school with designated major in political communication, Emerson seems to be lacking in student leaders. 9 SGA positions have no candidates for the upcoming SGA elections. One of those vacant positions is SGA executive president, 1 class president, 2 class senators, and 4 departmental senator positions are also vacant. Why is there so little interest in running? Vincent, start us off.
Well, I think in a school that is so untraditional, like Emerson College, where there's so many students with incredible passions and so many organizations that they can get overly involved in, it's hard to, find students that are solely invested in just the pursuit of making the institution better.
But I think that, sorry to cut you off, but I think that that's the biggest problem is that you know, we were just talking with our executive producer, Katie Bryant, you know, she's telling us she has 1,000,001 things going on. And I think that that's the biggest problem here at Emerson is that, you know, you have people, like, for example, myself, I'm involved at Emerson Channel, I'm involved at EIV, I'm taking a full 16 credit course load with practicum. I mean, between just those 2 extracurriculars, like, that consumes a lot of someone's time. I mean, it's not like it's something you do occasionally. It's something that it's a consistent and constant commitment to. And I think that it's really hard to say that, you know, yeah, I would love to do student government if I were here another semester, but would I honestly be able to give it the time that it deserves and that it needs?
Well, that's the other thing. It's like the celebrity factor. I mean, in a lot of places, it's not only at Emerson, but in Hollywood too. You know, in American culture, we're looking up to celebrities and people who are in movies and TV more so than we are the president of the United States. I mean, there was a study done, I want to say 2 years ago, and we put a picture of Obama and we put a picture of Britney Spears in front of somebody from a foreign country, and they picked out Britney Spears first.
To go off of what James is saying, I think that a lot of the problem is also that a lot of the kids at a, you know, more traditional college who would be going out for SGA, like very type A personalities, are going out for things like Emerson Channel and Fashion Society and different things like that, which are obviously excellent outlets that really, you know, help our growth as Emerson students. But at the same time, it does take away from other organizations such as SGA.
Okay, well, it's been rumored that SGA is writing in these candidates and they're not running. They don't have to run for the position. Do you think that's right to do?
Well, that's actually something that's been happening for the last, I think, 5 years. It's nothing that is new, and
But
it
for
actually.
these major positions.
Well, you know, I think that it also speaks about how Emerson students can use social media to bring in resources, and if a person has enough people that can write them in when they vote online, then that shows that the person has interest, you know. We live in the 21st century, so we have to, you know, engage these situations and these problems with solutions that are modern.
But don't you think someone needs to step up to the plate? I know we're all busy, you know.
I do, but for example, Christine, isn't it something that everyone here can admit that they've noticed? You see the exact same people leading everything. The same girls who you see running Kappa Gamma Chi and running AE Phi are the same girls who are involved in SGA, and the same guys you see running their Greek organizations or huge organizations like the Emerson Channel and EIV. You see all the same people taking the same leadership positions. It gets to a point where these same few people can't be leaders of everything. So I think it's a good time to call, you know, for the underclassmen to step up and take leadership roles. I think that another big part of the problem with underclassmen not taking these leadership roles is that since they've been here, they've seen the same people in office.
Or maybe it's because people who are in charge of things don't help them step up to the plate and make them think that they come in here and they're not going to have a chance.
That they can one day have that opportunity to be a leader, and I think that that's a big problem.
Do you think that's a problem with Emerson, that, you know, student leaders aren't reaching out?
Yeah, absolutely. You come here for a reason and you say to yourself, I'm here to make it in broadcasting, acting, marketing, whatever it is, and it's all about self-promotion. But self-promotion means nothing if you're not paying it forward to the people who need it. Because a lot of what it is freshmen come here and they're terrified. I mean, I'm a transfer student, and the first semester I was terrified. But now I've sort of seen the way that things work, and it's a lot easier, you know, once you get to know, like, the dynamic of it all. But yeah, I think there needs to be more support and more outreach from people who are running these things.
And I think also something to go off of with what James just said is a lot of kids that a lot of the students who come to Emerson are here for one purpose and one purpose only, and it's to focus on what it is that they're majoring in.
But what about those political communication majors?
Well,
9 positions and how many political?
But they're not here to run to one.
They're not here to do, you know, extracurriculars.
No, they are here to do it, but maybe they're not interested in that, and maybe they're here.
Interning at the State House.
Exactly, that's more important to them than coming.
But what about
and
the freshmen and sophomores? They can't have any internships, so why aren't they running for these
because
positions?
they're busy in other
Do you think it's because of people like you who are in SGA don't reach out to them?
Also, remember though that these are different positions. Like, you know, WLP major that needs to run for the Senate for WLP, communication senator. Very different organizations. You cannot completely blame.
Exactly. Okay, well, whoa, that got heated. But it's time for our last commercial break. But when we come back, our panelists are put to the hot seat with today's On the Spot question. Stay tuned.